So if you're like most of us, you use the internet to study. You go online, you do online research, and from there you take notes. And in some instances, you might use spaced repetition. But did you know that you can use Airtable and Pixiebrix to take individualized notes and send them, and then use spaced repetition to study with them? Well, if you want to know how to do it, let me walk you through it. Well, let's start out by doing a walkthrough of how this works, right? So say you're on Wikipedia, you need to highlight some text that you're studying. You also want to grab the link and maybe the title. So what you would do is you would just select this text, okay? Right click, hit send notes to Airtable. You will be prompted to enter a topic. In this instance, we're going to put automation. And then you will see that the context that we have a success modal that pops up that tells us that it ran. And then when we double check in Airtable, we have the selected text, we have the topic, we have the link to the article, and when it was created. Now, when you're ready to use spaced repetition, Airtable has this handy extension called flashcards. And if I search it here, flashcards, and it lets you study records in your base with visual flashcards. And then from there, you can just run through. You can add questions if you want to. You can run through these just to refresh your memory. This is akin to something like Rewise or even Notion, anywhere that you can do, or Anki, anywhere that you can do spaced repetition. This is pretty awesome for that use case, right? So let's walk through how to build this. So first things first, we're going to walk through how to build your Airtable base because this will be the starting point, and then we'll go through what you need to do with Pixiebrix. You need to think about the type of things you want to capture, right? So you want to capture the article title, right? Just in case you need to reference it. You need to capture the link, the topic, because you can then filter by topic in Airtable. And then that allows you to study different things. You can capture everything in one large base, but then study different things based on filters. So for the article title, which is our primary key, it's just going to be a single line text. And from there, we'll capture the H1 tag. In notes, you want this to be long text so that you can so there are no limitations on the amount of text that you can use. For our topic, it's going to be single line text as well. For the link to article, this field type will be URL. Date created is an auto-generated field type in Airtable, which is created time. And that's just from the drop down, you select created time. And then anything else you want to add, like say for instance, you want to go through these and add questions. So when you do your spaced repetition, like for instance, if you're studying for a test and you found answers to the test, but you want to have the question in your studies, you can add that here. So say for instance, you want to add questions. You can do single line text or long text. It's up to you. So now that you got your base set up, you need to go ahead and set up Pixiebrix. Through how to set up Pixiebrix. If you go to pixiebrix.com, and that's Pixie, then you would either log in if you already created an account, or you can do start for free. If you do start for free, you can log in with Microsoft or Google. And so I'm just going to connect with Google. And then from there, you can install or configure the browser extension, which is located, once you've installed it, is located right here. And that's how you install the Chrome extension, but how you access Pixiebrix is through the inspect menu. So if you right click on your screen and go down to, in the context menu, go to inspect, you will see a panel here for Pixiebrix. And that will allow you to create bricks inside your Chrome browser. The first thing you want to do is right click and open up your inspect menu. I'm going to walk you through kind of how this works, right? You want to start out with a context menu input. So that's basically just a right click. Um, and we've done that before. If you right click on your browser screen, you'll see the context menu set up. And that's all that is, right? We want to add the extension name, which is send notes to Airtable. The title will be send notes to Airtable, and you want to make sure that you give this the title. You want to make sure that you put the title here as well as the extension name so that when you do a right click, it is the title that you want to see. From there, when you go to sites, there is this, if you click all URLs, this brick will be available on any URL you access, right? We want to grab the topic or create our modal. So what this does is basically, this is the pop-up that allows us to fill out fields that we then want to send to Airtable outside of the selection that the selected text that we're going to grab from the browser, right? So we call this form title, right? It has topic, and when you put in the form description, it's add your topic here. But you can make the form description even more detailed to whatever you want it to be, right? And then you can add a new field here by clicking the blue button that says add new field. But in our case, we're going to do topic. And this name will refer to the output later. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in our next step. And the label here, this is for the user to see, which says enter your topic. And then from here, you can decide what input type you want to do. And we're matching our input type to Airtable. So in that regard, we want to do single line text, which is the single line text that we've created in Airtable. And then the button is submit, and we're doing a modal instead of a sidebar form, which they're interchangeable. You're just going to have it on the sidebar versus a modal, a pop-up. Then you want to add the send Airtable data brick. In that brick, you can use Pixiebrix to send information to Airtable, right? And so I want to go back through back to the input one, because this grabs all of the inputs, right? So for instance, if you go to preview here and you click this down arrow that has input, you can see we have icons, which is the Wikipedia icon. Images, you can grab the title, which is what we're going to grab. So if you hit the copy symbol or icon right next to title, you'll grab that and add it here at input title. And then you're going to add selection text as the form, as the field. So you'll hit copy selection text and input it here under notes. And like we've discussed previously, you want to match the properties to the properties. You want to match the properties here to the column names in your Airtable base. Okay, and then link to article is going to be input URL. So if we go back to input, we can grab the URL. Now you can see we have other things that we could grab: link text, provider, URL, and this will be different for every different website because every website has different input types that they will collect. However, these are the basic ones, and if we want to use those, we can. Okay, so now when we go to send Airtable data, we have our property title, which is article title, will be input title. That's the value. And then notes is input selection text. Link to article is at input URL. And then topic is form topic. So if you notice these little at forms here, those are the outputs to which you can direct your fields or field types to as values to properties in Airtable. And then once you do that, you want to make sure that you set up your Airtable API as well as the table name. So the table name is notes, and then the API is one that you would configure in your Pixiebrix dashboard. And then when you hit save, you can then test it to see, which we've already tested. And that's pretty much it. So I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions, please leave them down below or reach out to me. All links will be down in the description as well as a written tutorial. If this was helpful, give it a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Thank you.